You hear me? All right. Can you hear me all right now? Are we good to go?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Good morning and welcome to the Committee of Adjustment hearings for Rural Panel Number 3. We are a City of Ottawa quasi judicial tribunal that holds public hearings to consider Planning Act applications, including minor variances to the zoning requirements and consent to sever land. Excuse me. Our hearings are now in person at Ben Franklin Place, 101 Centerpoint Drive. We also enable remote participation by video conferencing for our registered speakers. We are live streaming on YouTube, and the video will be archived and available for future viewing by the public. My name is Bill Hunter. I'll be chairing today's hearings, and you can address me by my name or as chair. With me are my fellow panel members. On my far left, Martin Ververt. On my close left, Heather McLean. On my far right, Arto Kiklekian. And on my immediate right, Beth Henderson. The procedure for the hearings will be as follows. Listed on the agenda and appearing on screen from time to time are the applications we'll hear today. For the sake of efficiency, I may deal with the agenda items in a different order. Panel members have reviewed the planning reports and any written submissions in support or opposition to each of the applications. Today, we'll hear any oral submissions relating to the applications. As part of the statutory public notification requirements, each applicant was required to post a sign on the property in question before the hearing. They also had to confirm in writing that they did so, or they'll need to swear or affirm an oath today that they've fulfilled the sign posting requirements. Otherwise, we may have to adjourn or postpone the hearing. The panel may ask for a brief presentation of an application, followed by questions for the applicant and city planning staff. We will then hear from members of the public who have registered to speak and may also have questions for them. Finally, the applicant, who is the burden of proof, will have an opportunity to make final comments in reply. Please address your comments to me as the chair, starting with your name and spelling, if necessary, and your municipal address for the record. All presentations are limited to 5 minutes. Any exceptions will be at my discretion. At the end of the hearing, the panel may either make an oral decision or we may reserve our decision, which means it won't be delivered today. In either case, within 10 days, the Committee of Adjustment will send the official written decision and reasons for it to all the parties, participants, and anyone else who has requested a copy. Does anyone have any questions about the procedure we will be following today? Okay, there being none, then are there any declarations of interest from the panel members? Okay. Confirmation of the minutes of the previous meetings, that would be March the 5th and March 19th. Are they confirmed, panel members? Yes, thank you. Adjournment requests. We have received a request to adjourn, which means to postpone to a different day the hearing, and it's item number 4. Should just refer to that exactly. Item number 4 is 2095 Dilworth, Ward 21, Rideau Jock. And there's a request to adjourn, and I understand that the applicant consents to the request. Are there any questions, panel members, or comments with regard to that? Okay. So we will grant the adjournment. What date then shall we grant it to? Is May the 14th suitable?
Mr. Chair, the agent is online. We're just bringing him into the meeting.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Price, he's online now.
Yeah, I just don't see him on my computer. That's all. There's Mr. Price. Mr. Price, how are you?
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. My name is Rod Price, and I'm the agent on behalf of the owners. Sorry, I was busily waving my hands at the screen. No, with respect to the adjournment. We believe the application and its merits and the work we've put in to date. The fact that we have Rideau Valley's support and no objection from staff. We'd prefer to see the application heard today. And I think my note to the committee last evening was, however, if the committee feels an adjournment is required, I'd never say no. I'll leave it with you nice folks.
Okay, are you fine if it's adjourned to May the 14th, Mr. Price?
Am I?
That would give you enough time to talk about with the applicant, with perhaps planning staff as well, because there are some concerns that have been raised by various people. I saw those.
Mr. Chair, maybe we could call up Judy Garbo, who has submitted the adjournment request.
The adjournment the request didn't come from staff. It came from an abutting neighbor.
Yep, it came from a neighboring resident.
Good morning, panel members.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chair Hunter, and good morning, Rod Price. This is my first time making a presentation, so please have patience with my mistakes. I'm sure I'll make them. I'm just want to have like a 4-minute story about the property.
Okay. I'm sorry to interrupt. The first item that first part of this we're dealing with is not the merits of it or lack thereof, but whether it should be adjourned or not.
We've requested the adjournment in our letters, so.
So you'd be okay
We
with
have
that?
done that, and we have done that, yes.
Okay, and are you okay if it's adjourned to May the 14th?
If that's enough time for the city to review all of our concerns, it doesn't sound like enough time for staff to do that. So I had Suzanne Lehman and myself and my husband Ron had submitted a 4-page listing of all the issues that we have, that you would have seen that.
We have seen it
So-
and we have read it, but if it's going to be adjourned and come up, be it 4 weeks or 14 weeks from now, there's no sense going into the merits now or lack thereof.
see. Okay.
It's just the adjournment question, and you're okay if it's adjourned to May 14th, but you don't know if that's going to be enough time for city staff, planning staff.
Correct. I think it may need to be longer than
Right.
that. The other point I wanted to make, and it is in November, I was going to give a presentation, and it was adjourned, and I never got a chance to talk. So as long as residents are allowed to give a presentation and talk about the region and what it is, not just
No.
the cut and paste.
When it comes, not if, excuse me, when
Oh.
it comes back, May the 14th, you will certainly have an opportunity to go through the points that, in the letter and comments, and other persons who have made comments will have an opportunity as well. That is for sure. I can
Okay.
assure you of that. So that's actually why we don't need to spend your time today to go through all that, because May 14th, it's a while down the road, and I'm sure you'd want to make your comments freshly to us. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're okay with adjourn, is May the 14th, all right, panel members, staff?
Yeah, there's room on that agenda.
There's room on the agenda for May the 14th?
Mhm.
Okay, Mr. Price, May the 14th?
If that's committee's purview, sure. I would be interested, if possible, in staff's comments as to whether an adjournment would be worthwhile, based on what they've reviewed to date, because everything in the staff report that we've received does not object and supported by the Conservation Authority. So I guess if we're going to use that time wisely, I just need to know what else we need to provide to give staff and the committee that level of comfort.
Well, if we get staff comments and we're into the merits or lack thereof. And then that's not the issue we're at now. We're just at the adjournment. And I understand,
Yep.
Mr. Price, you're okay
Understood.
with that. And I think panel, you're okay with the adjournment to May the 14th? Yes, okay. Granted, then May the 14th. Thank you, Mr. Price. Thank you both.
Thanks,
Thank-
everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Okay, could we go back to the unopposed? Item number 1, which is 5030 MacHardy, Ward 5, West Carlton, March. We understand that it's unopposed. Is there anybody to speak, would like to speak to that? Panel members, any comments? No, okay, that one is granted. Item number 2, which is 28 Manchester, Ward 6, Stittsville, is unopposed. I understand that there was a letter from a citizen with regard to that has been withdrawn now.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay. Any questions or comments from anybody? Panel members, no questions, comments? Thank you. That's granted. Item number 3, 2296 Reevecraig, Ward 21, Rito Jock. No concerns planning. Anybody have any comments or questions on that item? No? Okay. That's granted. I believe that's, we're through with the meeting today. Is that correct?
That's right. That's the whole agenda.
Okay, thank you very much. We are adjourned.